Hey guys, what we're doing in this series is really talking about how I know some of you may be like on the religion thing. I'm not sure I really am into the whole God and church and stuff like that, and that's okay. That's why we've really created this series on purpose, to kind of walk with you through some of the barriers you may have of even wanting to come and find out about God. And so here's what I want to tell you. In the next 4 weeks, I want to talk to you about how this category of God, you may be going like, man, I don't want God. I'm not into religion. I'm not into that. That when that gets personal, and it isn't about the category of religion, but it comes into a personal relationship and understanding that God wants to be in relationship with you, then I'm telling you, that is totally different. Now, I know some of you may have barriers. You may have reasons. I know some Christians, I know they're jerks, they're mean, they're not nice, they're not kind. Why would I want to become a Christian to be like that? Man, right up, you're right. I mean, I'm right on with you there. Some of you may say, man, I grew up in a different background. I don't, my family didn't believe in God for me to even consider the claims of Christ or the Bible. It's almost like an emotional barrier that I would be betraying my family. Hey, I hear you. That's a big barrier. And it's a legitimate, and those of you who haven't made a decision to come and to give your life to Christ and to surrender your life to Him, you have reasons. Maybe you have reasons that you don't understand. How can this book really be not just man's writing, but it's God's writing? And hey, that's a legitimate claim. Some of you say, hey, if God's such a God of love, why is there so much evil in the world and problems in the world, and why did this happen to me and all of this? Every one of those claims are huge and legitimate. All I'm saying to you is all the people I find that are adults that come to our church who don't know Christ, when they come to Christ, and I talk to them about it, most of the time they don't come to Christ because they had their obstacles resolved. It's that they encountered they had a real encounter with God that was personal, that actually caused all those big obstacles to shrink, those huge questions to not be as big of a deal. And you say, well, I'm not so intellectually shallow to say I'm going to just throw my questions away and all that. Well, listen, I'm not saying don't deal intellectually. In fact, God even says, come, let's reason together on these things. He wants you to do that. He's not afraid of that. But I am telling you, there are a lot of areas of our lives we have questions, but when it comes to categories or issues, but when it gets personal, those questions shrink. You say, not me. Okay, let's talk about this. If you're married, then think about this. If you're married, or if you're a single person and you're scared about getting married, you've got reasons, a list of why you don't want to get married. Number one reason may be, dude, I ain't got enough money to get married. I don't have enough money to buy all the things I want, much less all the things she wants, Another one may be on commitment, that, man, I'm not ready to make that kind of commitment and be committed. I don't know how things, it's unclear, uncertain. I don't know about that. So you say, man, I'm not giving up my freedom. I love my freedom. I can do whatever I want. Loneliness may be there, but that's better than getting stuck, whatever that is for you. Maybe you say, man, I'm too young. Or maybe you go, dude, if I get married, I know what's going to happen to me. I mean, the moment I get married, it's just going to be like at the reception, I see another girl and go, oh, that's the one I should have married. Oh, what was I thinking? So, you may have these lists, guys, especially now. Ladies, you may have a little bit different lists of how it is, but guys, that may be your list. But here's the deal. Did you go through every one of those things on the list before you got married? I think not. You didn't like save and save and save and save and save and save until you were like 50 years old and you could afford to get a woman who doesn't have high expectations on what she wants. I mean, it didn't work that way. You didn't wait real long and wait until you hit a certain age and everybody's saying, hey, you're old enough. You didn't probably do anything about like reading books and finding out, oh yeah, I have really a problem not with committing to marriage, it's really committing to the unknown, but really there's risk all through life, and so I better do this. You didn't do that. On the freedom deal, you didn't go into counseling to figure out the freedom. You didn't go through the checklist. What happened is you met the one. Okay? It wasn't marriage, it was Mary, okay? It wasn't about the issue or the category of marriage now that was on a list. You met the girl that, man, I don't know how I would ever meet anyone like this, and I want to be with this person, and I love being with this person, I want to marry this person. It got personal. In the same way, what I'm telling you is, if you'll open your heart up for the next few weeks, and you will do what Jeremiah says. Jeremiah 29:13 says, if you will seek God, and you will seek Him with your whole heart, you will find Him. Will you just open your heart and just say a prayer, even if it may be that you think it's just hitting the ceiling and ain't going nowhere else? Just say, God, if you're real, show me. God, if you're real, let me know. And be honest and integral in that. You know what? You may find that the questions, and we can talk about those and we'll deal with those, and we're going to do that. The questions will shrink when you have an encounter with a real, true, loving God who wants to know you personally. That changes everything. Because now it's personal.